It is not considered proper or safe to attach temporary electrical wiring to sprinkler lines. There are several reasons why this practice is not recommended. Firstly, sprinkler systems are designed for a specific purpose, which is to distribute water in the event of a fire. They are engineered to withstand water pressure and maintain the integrity of the piping network. Attaching electrical wiring to sprinkler lines introduces additional weight and stress that the system was not designed to handle. This can lead to damage such as sagging, bending, or even breakage of the sprinkler pipes. Secondly, the weight of the electrical wiring can interfere with the proper operation of the sprinkler system. Sprinkler heads are designed to activate when exposed to a certain level of heat. If the wiring is weighing down the sprinkler lines, it can obstruct the spray pattern of the sprinkler heads, reducing their effectiveness in suppressing a fire. Thirdly, electrical wiring can generate heat, especially when carrying a significant electrical load. This heat can transfer to the sprinkler lines, potentially affecting the water temperature inside. In some cases, this could cause the sprinkler heads to activate prematurely or malfunction. Fourthly, attaching electrical wiring to sprinkler lines can create a safety hazard for anyone working on or near the system. If the wiring is damaged or becomes exposed, it could create a risk of electric shock. Additionally, the presence of electrical wiring near water pipes can increase the risk of corrosion and other forms of damage. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not specifically address the practice of attaching electrical wiring to sprinkler lines. However, the NEC does contain general requirements for the installation of electrical wiring, including requirements for support and protection. These requirements are intended to ensure that electrical wiring is installed in a safe and reliable manner. The NEC Section 300.11 covers securing and supporting wiring. Wiring methods shall be supported so that the wiring will not be damaged or dislodged from its intended position. The NEC Section 300.11 states that secured and supported wiring methods shall not be attached to raceways, cables, or equipment that contain fire protection systems. This section makes it clear that attaching electrical wiring to sprinkler systems is not permitted. The proper way to install temporary wiring is to use a temporary wiring system that is designed for the purpose. These systems typically use flexible cords that are suspended from the ceiling or walls. Temporary wiring should be supported independently and should not be attached to any other systems, including sprinkler systems. Here are some guidelines for installing temporary wiring systems. 1. Use flexible cords that are rated for the intended use. 2. Suspend the cords from the ceiling or walls using appropriate support. 3. Ensure that the cords are not subjected to excessive strain or tension. 4. Protect the cords from physical damage. 5. Inspect the cords regularly for signs of wear or damage. 6. Do not overload the circuits. 7. Use ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, in wet or damp locations. 8. Follow all applicable codes and regulations. Here's a deeper dive into why each of these points is important. Using flexible cords that are rated for the intended use ensures that the cords are capable of handling the electrical load and are suitable for the environment in which they will be used. Suspending the cords from the ceiling or walls using appropriate supports helps to keep the cords out of the way and prevents them from being damaged. Ensuring that the cords are not subjected to excessive strain or tension helps to prevent them from being damaged or pulled loose from their connections. Protecting the cords from physical damage helps to extend their lifespan and prevents them from becoming a safety hazard. Inspecting the cords regularly for signs of wear or damage allows you to identify and address any potential problems before they become serious. Not overloading the circuits helps to prevent overheating and fires. Using ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, in wet or damp locations helps to protect against electric shock. Following all applicable codes and regulations ensures that the temporary wiring system is installed in a safe and compliant manner. In the specific case of BX-wired shop type 4-foot fluorescent fixtures mounted with chain to ceilings, the practice of running the BX feed down sprinkler lines attached with tie wraps is not a proper installation. This is because it violates the principles mentioned earlier regarding the support of electrical wiring and the potential for damage to the sprinkler system. A better approach would be to use a dedicated support system for the BX cable, such as cable trays, J-hooks, or independent supports attached to the building structure. This would ensure that the wiring is properly supported and does not interfere with the operation of the sprinkler system. In addition to the safety concerns, attaching electrical wiring to sprinkler lines can also have legal implications. If someone is injured or property is damaged as a result of this practice, the person who installed the wiring could be held liable. In summary, it is not proper to attach temporary electrical wiring to sprinkler lines. This practice can damage the sprinkler system, interfere with its operation, create a safety hazard, and have legal implications. The proper way to install temporary wiring is to use a temporary wiring system that is designed for the purpose and to follow all applicable codes and regulations. This ensures that the wiring is installed safely and reliably and does not pose a risk to people or property. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electricity and to consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. Always consult the most recent edition of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, for the most up-to-date safety standards. It is also important to consult all local and state codes as well. The NEC section 310.15 covers ampacity tables for conductors. When sizing conductors for temporary wiring, you need to ensure the conductors are sized appropriately for the amount of load they will be carrying. The NEC section 240.4 covers the overcurrent protection of conductors. Overcurrent protection, such as fuses or circuit breakers, is used to protect the conductors from overload. Always use properly sized overcurrent protection. Grounding is an important safety measure in electrical systems. It provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip the overcurrent protection and prevent electric shock. The NEC section 250 covers grounding requirement. Bonding is the process of connecting all metal parts of an electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault current. The NEC section 250 covers bonding requirements. A ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, is a device that protects against electric shock by detecting ground faults. GFCIs are required in certain locations, such as bathrooms and kitchens, where there is a high risk of electric shock. The NEC section 210.8 covers GFCI protection requirements. An arc fault circuit interrupter, or SI, is a device that protects against fires caused by arcing faults. SIs are required in certain locations, such as bedrooms, where there is a high risk of fire. The NEC section 210.12 covers FSI protection requirements. Electrical work should always be performed by qualified personnel who are familiar with the NEC and other applicable codes and regulations. This helps to ensure that the work is done safely and correctly. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, you should hire a qualified electrician to do the work for you. Always turn off the power before working on any electrical equipment. This helps to prevent electric shock. Use insulated tools when working on electrical equipment. This helps to prevent electric shock. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, when working on electrical equipment. This may include safety glasses, gloves, and a hard hat. Never work on electrical equipment in wet or damp conditions. This increases the risk of electric shock. Inspect electrical equipment regularly for signs of wear or damage. This helps to identify and address any potential problems before they become serious. Repair or replace damaged electrical equipment immediately. This helps to prevent accidents and injuries. Follow all safety precautions when working with electricity. This helps to ensure your safety and the safety of others. Always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about electrical safety. Temporary wiring must comply with Article 590 of the NEC. Temporary electrical power and lighting installations are permitted for a period not to exceed 90 days for holiday decorative lighting and similar purposes. Temporary electrical power and lighting installations shall be permitted for a period not to exceed 1 year for construction, remodeling, maintenance, repair, or demolition of buildings, structures, or equipment, and similar activities. Temporary electrical power and lighting installation shall be permitted during emergencies and test experiments or developmental work. As per the NEC 590.4, feeders shall be protected against overcurrent in accordance with the requirements of Article 240. The branch circuit shall be protected as required by Part 3 of Article 210. Flexible cords and cables shall be protected from accidental damage. Sharp corners and projections shall be avoided. Where passing through doorways or other pinch points, protection shall be provided to avoid damage. Temporary light shall be protected from accidental contact or damage by suitable sleeves or guards. The wiring method for temporary wiring shall be a listed cord or cable. Receptacles shall be of the grounding type. Unless installed in a complete metallic raceway, each branch circuit shall contain an equipment grounding conductor, and all non-current carrying metal parts of equipment shall be grounded. As per NEC 590.6, all 125-volt single-phase 15, 20, and 30 ampere receptacles that are not a part of the permanent wiring of the building or structure and that are in use by personnel shall have ground fault circuit interrupter protection for personnel. This applies to receptacles used for temporary power. Do not attach temporary wiring to sprinkler lines.